Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for devotions this morning. Today we're still in Paul's letter to the Philippians chapter 4, and today we're going to read verse 5. Paul writes, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." By gentleness, Paul is referring to us being considerate to all people. And we're really to be like Jesus in this way. We talked about in chapter 2, Jesus' humility, how God became man and dwelt among us, and the incredible humility that it would have taken for Jesus to trade the glories of heaven to dwell among us. I mean, every time I think about that, I stand in awe of the fact that God would trade the glories of heaven to dwell among us. And not only to dwell among us, that would be sufficient humility in itself. But not only did he dwell among us, he dwelt really as a peasant among us. And he would die a criminal's death in our place. So the humility of Jesus is really this tremendous humility that I don't think we can even fully comprehend. But what Paul is saying is that in light of that, live lives that are marked by gentleness. Live lives that are considerate towards the needs of other people. Think about the needs of other people. Be outward focused in your relationships with other people. Now, what I find to be true is that in a crisis, we have this great tendency to look inward, right? To make sure all of my needs are being met, to make sure I have enough toilet paper, to make sure I have enough food, to make sure that I have sufficient income coming in. And so we have a tendency to look inward, but what Paul is calling us to do is, in all circumstances, be considerate of other people. To look outward, to see the needs of other people and see how we can be engaged in God's mission in the world by caring for the needs of those around us. And I think the Lord is the one who really gives us the freedom, because when we know the love of God, when we know how deeply our Lord cares for us, we then have the freedom to take our eyes off of ourselves and off of our own needs and to fix our eyes on Him first and foremost, and as an expression of that, towards the needs of other people. And now Paul kind of gives a little bit of a motivator here as well. He says, "Let your gentleness be known to all, period. The Lord is near." He says, in light of the fact that Jesus will return, in the light of His coming, live this way. Live a life that is ready, and let your readiness be known by the way that you treat other people. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.